Hi, I'm Jeremy Green with Oregon State University Extension 4-H and Youth Development. Today, we're going to be talking about the 4-H Dog Project, and more specifically, the showmanship aspect of the 4-H Dog Project. The purpose of dog showmanship is for the handler and dog to exhibit to the judge how well they work together as a team. In showmanship, the handler is judged on how well they show the dog, present and move the dog, and about their knowledge on dogs and responsible dog ownership. There are 5 basic components all handlers need to know to be successful in the 4-H dog showmanship ring. Those 5 components are stacking, gating, individual examination, ring patterns, and knowledge about dogs and responsible dog ownership. We're going to talk about those 5 basic components today. Thank you for joining us. Let's get to work.
When stacking your dog, the most important thing to think about is keeping control of your dog's head. Do this by keeping your showmanship lead snug up behind the ears of the dog. From this position, you can now set your dog's feet. Your dog should be stacked squarely on all 4 feet. You don't want your dog to be stretched out or to have its feet tucked up underneath it. Stack its feet straight down the shoulders in the front and in the rear so that its pads are in line with the hock and perpendicular to the floor. Begin by stacking the front outside foot of your dog. Then set the front foot closest to you. Proceed with the hind feet by reaching either under or over your dog to set the outside foot. Then finish with the hind foot closest to you. Move back to the head of your dog and show the judge that you are ready for further instructions. To gate your dog means to move your dog around the ring or in a pattern at a specific speed. The speed at which your dog moves is dependent upon the size and breed of your dog. However, for all dogs, gating is generally described as a controlled trot. Handlers with bigger dogs will move much faster than handlers with smaller dogs. If your dog is merely walking, you are not moving fast enough. If your dog is bouncing or loping, you are moving too fast. Practice moving your dog so that you find the appropriate speed at which your dog moves in a controlled trot. The individual examination of your dog is when the judge goes over all of the dogs in the ring one at a time. At this time, the judge is checking for evidence of proper grooming, cleanliness, may ask you to show the bite of the dog, and perhaps will also ask general dog questions as well as questions about your specific breed. It is important as a handler during this time that you keep control of the dog's head and remember to reset your dog's feet if moved out of position by the judge. When grooming your dog for the showmanship ring, all dogs should be clean, with nails trimmed, hair between the pads cut, and groomed according to the breed standard. Poodles do not need to be shown in a show clip, and dogs should not be wet from a bath while in the show ring. There are a number of different ring patterns a judge may ask you to perform while in the showmanship ring. You will conduct ring patterns as a team, just you and your dog, and on occasion, the judge may ask you and one other exhibitor to perform a ring pattern at the same time, like on a down and back. There are 4 primary ring patterns that a judge may ask you to perform. They are the triangle pattern, the L pattern, the T pattern, and down and back exercise. Some of the ring patterns require hand changes. Thus, it is important to practice these patterns many times before participating in a showmanship class. The triangle pattern is a fairly basic pattern. You go directly away from the judge, down the back side of the ring, and when you get to the far corner, turn and come back to the judge. The triangle does not necessarily require any hand changes. The L pattern is a bit more difficult in that it requires a hand change. Go directly away from the judge, down the back side of the ring, and when you get to that corner, change hands, go back the way you came, and then turn and directly back to the judge. Always come back facing directly to the judge. On the T pattern, you start in the middle of the ring, go directly away from the judge, make a left at the end of the ring, change hands at the corner, and proceed across the back of the ring to the other corner. Change hands again, come back to the middle of the ring, and return to your judge. Always come back in a straight line to the judge. In the down and back pattern, you go directly away from the judge to the end of the ring. Either do an about turn or switch hands and return directly back to the judge. Knowledge about dogs and responsible dog ownership is important for anybody who owns a dog. Therefore, while in the showmanship ring, judges may ask you various questions about dogs, your particular breed or breed of dogs, and/or questions about responsible dog ownership. They may also ask you questions about the 4-H program in general. A good place to begin is by memorizing the parts of the dogs, having knowledge of both internal and external parasites, vaccinations, general care of dogs, and specifics like the breed name of your dog, the country of origin, and what your dog was originally bred to do, and what AKC group your dog is in, or would be in. Keeping the dog between handler and judge. In the showmanship ring, one of the most important things to remember is to keep your dog between you and the judge as often as possible. Handlers that get between the dog and judge can be penalized. Moving around your dog while stacking, changing hands during the ring patterns, and performing courtesy turns are all mechanisms handlers use to keep the dog in the middle at all times. Use of bait. In the showmanship ring, most judges allow handlers to use bait to help hold the attention of the dogs. Handlers use all different types of dog treats as bait. Everything from cut pieces of hot dogs, cooked chicken or liver, or various dog treats can be used. Be sure to check with your ring steward prior to entering the ring to ensure the judge is okay with you using bait. And handler appearance. Handler appearance is also a component judged while in the showmanship ring. Handlers should appear neat and clean, wearing clothes that neither distract the judge nor take away from the presentation of the dog. For boys, dress pants, shoes with a rubber sole, long sleeve shirt, and tie is appropriate. For girls, either skirts or dresses that do not interfere with your dog while stacking or moving, dress pants, long sleeve button shirts or blouses, closed toe shoes with a rubber sole, and having the hair pulled back out of the face are all appropriate.
Wow, we covered a lot of topics today. I hope you were able to learn something that will help you be more successful in the 4-H dog showmanship ring. Thank you for joining us. See you around the ring.